This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com. Yesterday was the big day, June 25th, 2021, that the Office of the Director of National Intelligence in the U.S. submitted to Congress a preliminary report regarding unidentified aerial phenomena, otherwise known as UAP or UFOs. They've changed the name to UAP to kind of get rid of the unidentified flying object stigma. This report was relaying the progress of the US's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, which is all about understanding what this phenomena is. For the people that were expecting full disclosure on this, you didn't get it. For the people that were expecting explanations for what the Tic Tac UFOs were and the famous military footage that have been released, and have it all written off as swamp gas or balloons or weather phenomena, that didn't happen either. This is definitely a step in the right direction in figuring out what this is. Yesterday, I just went through a news report on the actual report. Now I've read the report, and I put the link to anyone that wants to read the report. It's right in the description of this video. The official report, just go in the description of the video, click the link, and feel free to write in the comments of this video your opinions on what you think this UAP is. But I'm going to review the things that I find interesting in this report. So firstly, they actually defined what unidentified aerial phenomena is. The definition that they're using for that is airborne objects not immediately identifiable. The acronym UAP represents the broadest category of airborne objects reviewed for analysis. The limited amount of high-quality reporting on unidentified aerial phenomena hampered the ability to draw firm conclusions on what the intent of this phenomena is in our airspace. Because a reporting system was put into place in more recent years, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force concentrated its review of reports that occurred between 2004 and 2021, which means there were still occurrences as recently as this year. UAPs generally exhibit unusual flight characteristics. There are probably multiple types of UAPs requiring different explanations based on the range of appearances and behaviors described in the available reports. The analysis of the data supports the construct that if and when individual UAP incidents are resolved, they will fall into 5 potential explanatory categories. These 5 categories of the phenomena that the U.S. government puts them in is airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, United States government development programs that may not be known to other areas of the U.S. military, foreign adversary systems, or the other, which is totally unknown, which would be the potentially extraterrestrial category. The report does state that this phenomena, unidentified aerial phenomena, clearly poses a safety of flight issue and may also pose challenges to U.S. national security. Safety concerns primarily center on aviators contending with an increasingly cluttered air domain. UAPs would also represent a national security challenge if they are foreign adversary collection platforms or provide evidence a potential adversary has developed either a breakthrough or disruptive technology. Consistent consolidation of reports from across the federal government, standardized reporting, increased collection and analysis, and a streamlined process for screening all such reports against a broad range of relevant United States government data will allow more sophisticated analysis of UAPs that is likely to deepen the understanding of what they are. After careful consideration of this information, the UAP task force focused on reports that involved this phenomenon that were largely witnessed by military aviators and that were collected from systems that they considered to be reliable. These reports described instances that happened between 2004 and 2021, with the majority of them coming from the last 2 years, where new reporting mechanisms became more widely used in the military aviation community. Apparently, some potential patterns emerge through this research into these incidents. Although there was a wide variability in reports and the data set is currently too limited to allow for a detailed trend or pattern analysis, there was some clustering of UAP observations regarding shape, size, particularly propulsion as well. UAP sightings also tended to cluster around U.S. training and testing grounds, but the task force does assess that this might result from a collection bias as a result of focused attention, greater numbers of the latest generation sensors operating in those areas, unit expectations, and guidance to report anomalies. So in other words, there is an increase of sightings around U.S. training and testing grounds of the military. However, this could be because of the greater collection abilities that they have on those sites rather than the sites themselves. Obviously, if they're flying over my house here in the suburbs of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, I don't have radar detection systems and night vision photography and motion sensor photography and various other means of reporting where these areas where the U.S. are doing training and testing are heavily secure. So they're going to be paying very close attention to anything around those testing grounds. In the 18 incidents described in 21 reports that they studied, observers reported unusual UAP movement patterns and flight characteristics. Some UAP appeared to remain stationary in hard winds. They would move against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without any discernible means of propulsion. In a small number of cases, military aircraft systems processed radio frequency energy associated with the UAP sightings. The UAP task force holds a small amount of data that appears to show UAPs demonstrating acceleration or a degree of signature management. We are conducting further analysis to determine if a breakthrough technology was demonstrated. And we've seen tons of military people go on the record talking about this instantaneous acceleration that these craft possess, as well as the ability to go underwater and move at very high speeds underwater. The report goes on to say unidentified aerial phenomena lack a single explanation in all likelihood. The UAP documented in this report is limited, but they demonstrate an array of aerial behaviors, reinforcing the possibility that there are multiple types of UAP requiring different explanation. Our analysis of the data supports the construct that if and when individual UAP incidents are resolved, they will fall into one of 5 potential explanatory categories. And they already talked about this earlier, but they go on to define them. The first is airborne clutter. These objects would be birds, balloons, recreational vehicles, airborne debris like plastic bags. They could also be natural atmospheric phenomena, such as ice crystals, moisture and thermal fluctuations that may register on some infrared and radar systems. The other one is United States government or industrial development programs. Some unidentified aerial phenomenon observations could be attributed to developments related to classified U.S. programs. They are unable to confirm, however, that these systems accounted for any UAP reports that the task force collected. So they did look into it to see if these were potential black program craft from within the U.S. government, and they could not confirm that it would have been that. It could also be under the category of foreign adversarial systems, where they go on to say, and this wouldn't be one of the good ones. Foreign adversarial systems would be technologies deployed by China, Russia, or another non-governmental entity. So that would be basically an enemy country or potential enemy country spying on us or being up to something through these craft, whether manned or unmanned. Then finally, the other category is other, which most of the unidentified aerial phenomena is basically this. And this is opening challenges as far as collection and processing of data and analysis goes. And they're going to require additional scientific knowledge to successfully collect, analyze, and characterize some of these craft. They would group such objects in this other category pending scientific advances that would allow us to better understand them. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force intends to focus additional analysis on the number of cases where the phenomenon appeared to display unusual flight characteristics and signature movements. Now they go on to detail what they say straight up. And this is important because in the past, they were just ignoring this. We're saying it doesn't exist. We're playing X-Files music and laughing about it. Unidentified aerial phenomena threaten flight safety and possibly national security. UFOs pose a hazard to safety of flight and could pose a broader danger if some instances represent sophisticated collection against U.S. military activities by a foreign government or demonstrate a breakthrough aerospace technology by a potential adversary. As far as potential national security challenges, they lack enough data to indicate if these craft are part of a foreign collection program or indicated of a major technological advancement by a potential adversary. They're going to continue to monitor for evidence of such programs, given the counterintelligence challenges they would pose, particularly as some UAPs have been detected near military facilities by aircraft that have been carrying the United States government's most advanced sensor systems. So, from what I've researched, and there's been very, very many credible former military officials that have gone on the record saying they do not actually believe China or Russia would have these type of craft, since, as stated in this report, they've been studying this more seriously since 2004. And these same Tic Tac UFOs and other UFOs, we've been seeing these things since the 40s. So if really this is Russia or China having these type of vehicles and they've been around for like 70 years, don't you think that they would have been a little bit more obvious? They wouldn't be so secretive. There's a lot. I would like to know what these things are. That's why I'm interested in this. It could be from a foreign adversary. That is true. We don't know. There is the theory that these things can be from this world itself to a potential hidden civilization, perhaps under the water. We see these things constantly going under the water. What's going on in our oceans? Who knows? But this report agrees that more data needs to be collected. And the final part of the report, which again you can look up in the description of this video, the Senate report specifically requests that the reports include a detailed analysis of UAP data and intelligence reporting collected or held by the Office of Naval Intelligence, including data and intelligence reporting held by the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. They also request a detailed analysis of unidentified phenomena data collected by geospatial intelligence, signals intelligence, human intelligence, measurement and signatures intelligence. They also request an analysis of the FBI's investigation files related to UFOs over restricted U.S. airspace. They request a detailed description of an interagency process for ensuring timely data collection and centralized analysis of all UAP reporting from the federal government, regardless of which service or agency acquired the information. So from what I understand, this has been one of the issues. There hasn't been a lot of data sharing within the various government agencies that these things exist and they're out there. So now things are opening up more. They want to find out what this is. And being in Canada, it seems that Canada is completely in the dark about all of this. Finally, not finally, but as I go on here for what they're requesting, they want an official accountable for the processes described above. So they want someone to be in charge of these processes to have to report all this collected data to. They also want identifications of potential aerospace and other threats posed by to national security by these UFOs, and an assessment of whether this activity may be attributed to foreign governments. They also want identification of any incidents or patterns that indicate a potential adversary has achieved breakthrough aerospace capabilities that could put the U.S. strategic or conventional forces at risk. In other words, if some foreign government has these vehicles that display technology far beyond anything we can even understand right now, we want to know more about it before we get into any type of conflict with them where we could be in severe danger. And now, finally, they are requesting recommendations regarding increased collection of data, enhanced research and development, how much additional funding they'll need, as well as other resources. So I knew that was going to be long, 20 minutes. I suggest you read over the report. There was 2 reports. This one is the 9 pages condensed report that is declassified. There was also a classified version. I'll just read a couple of your questions. We also do UFOs on this channel, Jeannie, as well as MMA, boxing, kickboxing, as Walter says, UFO news. Okay. I'm more interested in UFOs these days than wrestling. So, bunch of comments on here. Lori says this UFO exposure has been long overdue. It was a matter of time. Roughneck gives it a thumbs up. Mac and Ash reckons they live in Earth, underwater, under the crust. Anything's possible. Anything is very possible. Jake thanks me for going over this with you. Any personal idea what it is? Well, I research this every day. And from my research, this is not human technology. From my research. Now, this could be, as I mentioned, something from Earth that is hidden under the water, for instance, because these things have a connection with water. We have military officials talking about it all the time, how these things also operate underwater. So what's going on underwater? So they're either, in my opinion, something that's from Earth or on Earth that has technology above us. Why they're hidden, I don't know. Or it's visitors from other places that appear to be studying us and appear to be collecting stuff underwater. So that's what I want to know. That's really what I want to know. What are they doing? Mark McCann loves Great North Wrestling from Smith Falls, Ontario. Hopefully we'll be back there next year when it opens up. Polymathing likes the paranormal content. The only thing I can tell you for sure for the person asking, and I don't want to, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I research this stuff a lot, is we need to find out more information on what's going on. There's something weird going on, and you can't just say, as this report says, you can't group it all into one category. There could be multiple visitors. If it is visitors, maybe some of it is for an adversary. Maybe some of it is. Who knows? But one thing's for sure, we shouldn't ignore it. We shouldn't laugh about it. That's my opinion on it.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our